Okay, so from your baby was born on
my baby my baby was born on 27th of
on the
August.
27th.
On the 27th of August.
August. Okay.
August.
Okay, so when you were working at Rewards Web, what was your job title?
When I was working on Rewards Web, my job title was Senior Software Engineer.
Okay, senior software engineer for the back end.
Yes, for a back end with Java.
Okay, and what were your responsibilities, Maxi?
My main responsibility was creating news APIs to expose data.
Okay.
From the controller. No, I mean the controller with the endpoints, the services with the business logic, and the repositories to access data.
Okay. So which repositories were you using? Were you using a database system like MySQL or something like that?
Yes. We used MySQL and MongoDB, depending of the service.
Depending on the service.
On the service.
Okay.
Because we have a microservice architecture, so every service use a different repository.
Okay, used a different repository. Used a different repository. Yes. Okay, so as back-end engineer, were you responsible for the data storage as well as the databases as well? Was that your responsibility?
Yes. We created implemented new modules for the new platform of the company.
Okay. Were you responsible for the design of those models as well?
¿Cuáles fueron mis responsabilidades de diseño?
No. Were you responsible for the design of the business models?
Si fue mi responsabilidad.
Yeah, the design of the business models.
Yes. I worked in the payment and transaction modules.
Okay.
And I defined the structure of the data models.
Okay. And then you implemented them.
Yes.
So in both MySQL and MongoDB, or just one of those?
Yes, in MySQL and MongoDB.
Okay, so you do database design as well as Java?
Yes.
Yeah. Did you work closely with the business analysts?
Yes, because...
So tell me about your interaction with the business analysts. Did you talk to them on once a week, once a month?
No, we have ¿Cómo era pasado?
We had.
We had once a week meet with the people of
meetings. Yeah.
meetings. Once a week meetings.
Okay. Okay. Did you have anybody working for you in your team? Were you responsible for other employees?
I haven't
I
people
didn't have. Mhm.
I didn't okay. I didn't have people behind me,
Mhm.
but I had the responsibility to
Mhm.
mentoring,
Yeah, mentoring.
mentoring to the new developers to join the company.
So who joined the company?
To join the company.
Okay, so so you were working with database systems and you were working with Kafka and Java.
Yes.
Yeah. Which frameworks did you work with? Or did you work with any frameworks?
Yes, we use Spring as framework for Java, Kafka for the asynchronous event.
Okay,
events.
for message brokering.
Yes.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about how you interacted with Kafka in your code.
Okay. For example, when the user make a buy, no,
makes a purchase.
A purchase.
Mm-hmm.
We had to create and configure a new transaction, but that process take a few minutes. So we ¿cómo lo digo? We process the configuration of the transaction with events in a synchronous way.
Okay.
We respond to the user an initial response.
Okay.
Yo quiero decir que le respondíamos algo al usuario y por detrás estábamos como configurando toda la transacción.
Okay. Yep. So you sent an initial response to the user.
Okay. An
initial response to the user. While the backend was processing the transaction.
Okay. While in the backend, we process the transaction.
Okay, so the front end that interacted with the user, what was that written in?
The front end was writing in React.
Okay, not written, written. Written in React.
React.
So JavaScript, basically, yeah. And then that communicated with the back end. How did it communicate with the back end?
Can you repeat the question?
Yeah, how did the front end, the React, communicate with the back end, which was your Java program? What was the communication between the two?
The communication was by REST API.
Okay, so HTTPS calls.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not Ajax. Not Ajax.
No.
So via HTTPS. So your backend received the request. Then what happened?
Then process the request, check the business logic, and get data from the database.
Yeah.
And return the response to the front end.
Okay, and where does Kafka fit in that process?
Perdón que dije mal. When the backend receive the request, create an initial transaction, and
it creates an initial
transaction and responds the ID of the initial transaction to the front end, but in the backend, the transactions ¿cómo era? La transacción estaba procesándose.
So the transaction is being processed.
Is being processed with asynchronous way.
Yeah.
With Kafka.
Okay, so it gets written to a queue.
Yes, in a different process. So the user could get an answer wait for the finish of the process.
Okay, so while waiting. While waiting for. Okay, so that's very interesting how it fits together. Okay, so you were also involved in documentation. So tell me a little bit about the documentation process.
Okay, we use a platform called Notion to write the documentation of the APIs. I mean the request data, response data, the responsibility of the AP.
Yeah.
And the diagrams of the
not diagrams, diagrams. The diagrams.
Diagrams of the model structure of the code.
Of the call.
O sea, como sí. Diagramamos como las clases o el flujo, mejor dicho, el flujo que.
Okay, so in English, the flow.
The flow,
yeah.
We used to integrate the new API.
Okay, so that was all documented using Notion.
Yes.
Yeah, and Notion is a shared working tool, or is it a tool that sits on your desktop? Where does Notion run?
No, it's a web tool.
Okay, so it's stored in the cloud.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Also, you talk about code review. So have you done much code review?
Yes. With my coworkers, we had. Yes.
Sorry about that. Excuse me. Yeah.
Yes. With my coworkers, we had the rule to make code review between merge the new code to master.
I apologize, Maxi. I seem to have caught a cold. So, whose code did you review, Maxi? Whose code? The quién? Whose code did you review?
The new code of my coworkers.
In which language? Only in Java, or did you review code
Java.
Only in Java?
No, only in Java.
Okay. Did you do review for any other technologies? Any like MongoDB? Any designs there? Did you review those?
Yes. we review the data from the database.
Okay. And so what was the process of code review within the overall project? So if you had an enhancement to make, so a new development, what was what were the steps? Where was code review in that process? So what were the steps that you went through for a new development, a new feature?
Okay. First of all, I create a new branch.
I created a new branch.
I created. Me cuesta hablar en pasado, pero ya me voy a poner a estudiar más. I created a new branch and worked.
In Git. In Git. A new branch in Git or in another tool?
In Git.
Oh, in GitHub.
Ah, yes, in Git. Yes, we use GitHub. I worked in a new branch and push the new code to the repository. Then I created a new pull request. One or more coworkers of mine review the code and they can write some comments. I mean, corrections, comments.
Yeah.
So I could to. No, yo tenía que corregir esos comentarios.
I had to correct.
I had to correct that comment, and then they approved the pull request. When my coworkers approve the pull request, I can merge to master.
Okay. And what about testing? What kind of testing did you do in Rewards Web?
Yes, we use JUnit as framework to write testing, and we made unit testing for all the methods in the services of the service layer to test the business logic.
Okay. So also like to ask you, one of the things that you mention in the summary on your CV is that you're constantly self-training and learning. So tell me the sort of things that you do to make sure that you perfect your skills and that you acquire new skills. What do you do?
I study. No, I study. Yo estudio.
I study. Yeah.
I study a lot. I mean, I purchase books and read books about programming, clean code. Acá los tengo.
Okay.
I read books and practice and try to practice the good patterns, the good software principles. Okay,
so tell me, what are, in your opinion, what are good software principles?
For example, every piece of code or every module will be debería tener.
It should have
should have low coupling and high cohesion.
Not coupling, coupling.
Coupling.
Yeah, because it comes from the word couple, which means two. So good
okay.
coupling.
Low coupling and high cohesion.
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 Yeah, so cohesion. Okay, so what does that mean? What does low coupling mean?
Low coupling means this module has
model or module?
Module.
Yeah.
One module have few collaborators.
Okay.
Because if some module has a lot of collaborators, when some of those collaborators change, this module will have problems. This module will have problems.
Okay.
So the idea is every module have
should have
poco acoplamiento, ¿cómo sería?
So,
low
coupling. So to reduce dependencies between modules.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And what about cohesion? What does cohesion mean in terms of modules?
Cohesion means the things are together in some place. We have the ay, que no lo sé decir en inglés. O sea, que las cosas que están juntas tienen que tener como tienen que tener cosas, tienen que ser de lo mismo.
Okay,
no
so the idea is to keep things together that have something in common. Yeah, have you seen that one in your course? Something in common. Algo en común. Yeah, something in common.
Bien, something in common.
So keep the things together that have something in common.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. Also, so you change from front end and mobile app development to become a back end engineer. Why? What are your reasons for that?
Because in one of the company I worked.
One of the companies.
In one of the companies I was working. They had the need to a new developer in the backend project.
Okay.
My boss proposed me that, o sea, ¿cómo lo digo? My boss proposed me to change to project to cover that position.
Okay.
And I start. ¿Y cómo digo que como que me empezó a gustar más y me dedicaba a
I began to enjoy it.
I began
to enjoy it.
Está bien. To enjoy it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like that. Began to enjoy it. Yeah.
Okay. Began to enjoy.
Okay, so what things about being a back-end engineer do you enjoy?
I like the well-designed and high quality of the structure of the modules. ¿Eso está bien?
Well, so I would say the things that I enjoy about being a back-end engineer is being at the center of things, being close to the business. Whereas a front-end engineer is more about the aesthetics, the design, the creativity of the UI, the UX. But the back end, yeah. So those are the things that I like about working on the back end.
Okay. Yeah. Está más cerca del negocio, sería.
Yeah. Yeah, closer to the business, closer to the business logic.
Okay. Uh-huh.
So I don't know. Maybe that's different from you. Maybe you prefer something else.
No. Yeah? That sounds great.
So sometimes it's interesting as well to have exposure to more technology. On the front end, the technology is limited, isn't it? Mm-hmm. It's JavaScript or JavaScript frameworks like React and so on.
Angular.
Or Angular. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, maybe TypeScript as well these days. But on the back end, you've got everything. You've got Java. You've got all the message brokers. Got all the databases as well. There's more opportunity to be involved in more technologies.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't want to put words in your mouth. Okay. So some other types of questions. Okay. So what are your ambitions for the future? What do you want personally? Where do you see your career developing?
I believe I would like to be project manager.
Okay.
Or yes, because I like to I like developing software, but I also like to interact with people.
Okay. So you would like to go into project management as well?
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So what experience do you have of working on projects? What do you think of things like agile project development?
¿Cómo sería?
Agile, you know, agile?
Agile, yes.
Yes,
Pero
of
la
course.
Pregunta...
So what do you think of agile project management or as a project management tool?
¿Qué pienso de eso?
Mm-hmm.
I believe it's a good way to work because the team, como digo, entrega constantemente un resultado o algo así.
Okay, are delivering.
Ah, ahí está. Are delivering constant results to the client people.
Yeah. So what do they call the project owner, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
So the project owner.
The project owner. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Okay. So I want to ask you as well. So we've only got a couple of minutes left because I have to rush off to another lesson. But what experience do you have of working in English? What have you done before working in English?
I didn't have experience working in a team speaking English, but I have experience writing code in English and documenting code in English. With all the documents of the company in English. I can understand I can understand English, but I haven't make a fluent conversation yet, but I'm working on improve that.
Working on improving that.
Okay, on improving that.
Okay, that's good. So no meetings in English yet?
No.
No. Okay, but there's something you would like to do?
Yes.
Yeah. So are you looking to work for companies from the United States, things like that? Is that one of your ambitions or objectives?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I would like that.
Yeah. So what sort of companies would you like to work for?
¿Qué tipo de compañía?
Yeah. So what sort of is the same as what kind of companies?
I didn't have preference. I would like to work on interesting project where I grow my technical skills.
Not technical.
Okay, technical.
Yeah, right. Technology, technical.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, very good. So we'll stop here, Maxi, because I have to rush off for another lesson. But it was very interesting. What I'll do is I'll send you a copy of the video that we made for the lesson, and I'll send you also some suggestions for your CV. Okay, you don't have to follow them. They're just suggestions.
Yes.
Okay.
Please. Yes.
And it will be nice to have another practice at another time in the future when you're ready. There's no obligation, but it will be nice to, I think, to try to develop things a little bit further. Okay?
Okay.
Good to speak to you, Maxi.
Thank you, Steve. See you.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye, Maxi. Bye-bye.